Harry, if you watch any more of those stupid financial shows, I'm filing for divorce.
How am I going to keep up with our retirement accounts?
At JML Financial Group, we want you watching your grandkids playing soccer and sunsets in Hawaii, not the latest rumor of a market crash. Surprisingly, with proper income planning, the stock market shouldn't even be a concern. The money came in every 2 weeks while you worked. It should be the same in your retirement years. Let us show you how. Call JML Financial Group today at 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. So, when your neighbor's sunbathing in the front yard,
Harry, you're an idiot. Get away from the window.
keep your eyes focused where they should be, on enjoying your retirement. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
It's Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Westchester University and Pittman, New Jersey in February.
It was fabulous. It was the most joyful night I have experienced in a long time.
The Frank Sinatra guy, I really liked him.
His imitation of the Bee Gees.
That's Conklin with City Rhythm and the story of Philly sports through music. Westchester University on February 21st and the Broadway Theater in Pittman, New Jersey on February 22nd. Tickets to a Conklin show make great holiday gifts. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-291-1305. That's 800-291-1305. 800-291-1305.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause. Brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that will affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
In Virginia Beach, our locals live the life every day. The art of living the life starts by connecting with what matters most. Happiness. When you visit, you will realize that happiness is a real place and that it is here in Virginia Beach.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, another prediction, Dan, another day. Check that box. I don't know where you were, what you predicted on this, but the Philadelphia City Council has just voted 12-5. They call it the committee vote, the committee of the whole. Means all 17 of them are on a committee. Then these dunces have it when next week they turn into being a council. They're not a committee, and they vote for it. 12-5 to go forward with the Arena project. Now, these are the very same people that lecture Republicans all the time about greed, income inequality, and everything else. What they're doing here is they are picking winners and losers. And the winners, just like in Joe Biden times, are the unions. And the other winners are the billionaires who ran the Sixers into the ground, or at least their upper management, in an appalling way. They will be much richer. For a boondoggle to go downtown on SEPTA is the argument, and this is all going to be magical to go to Sixers games there. So
it'll be amazing.
After all this testimony, after all the Chinatown, now these are the people that always tell us you have to respect cultures in the neighborhood and cultures. They're the ones that are always telling you about gentrification. Isn't this, in the way that they go about it, isn't this gentrification? In other words, they say these people are fat cats, like a Borowski family moving into the neighborhood now. You know, they're young, they're kids, they're kind of millennial and all that, and they're white, and they're driving out all these others. Well, what's happening here? Well, the Sixers, They are moving forward with this. They are driving this situation and getting a license to do it, as predicted. The reason is, in Philadelphia, what the building trades want, that's what they're going to get. That's what it's about. What the black clergy wants, that's what they're going to get. All this other stuff with progressives doesn't matter. What matters is they have the clout. They've always had it. And that's what they're going to do. So I feel in a strange position. The more radical left members of city council voted against this, and so did the Inquirer. And today, Dan looks like he's already starting his engines of his car. He's going to a Flyers game, and he's looking at the clock. Oh, my God, 3 out of 5.
Gotta get out.
So are they still going to tie up traffic today? I'm against that, too. I'm against everything in this thing. You can't hold people hostage. These morons today that are going to tie up traffic in Philadelphia. I'm on your side not having the arena. But you can't hold the average individual hostage. How is that going to make the Sixers, the black clergy, and the trade unions, how is that going to make them listen to reason on this and say this is the wrong thing? It's not. You are just harming people trying to get home to work or to a Flyers game or to whatever. That's all that you're doing. All right, let's go to David in Somerset. He's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, David, good afternoon.
Hey, Dom, thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Ball of confusion for the side question by the Temptations.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That works very well with this outside the box. Thank you, David. Yep, ball of confusion. We'll put that up on the board. We're looking for something that fits what we're seeing with the drone action. But this action, it just came down in Philadelphia. After all this, and I was telling you what, was it a year and a half? This is what's going to happen. This is how they think. In what universe is SEPTA going to provide any kind of safe experience, pleasant experience to go to a Sixers game or anything else? In what universe does this follow what we're told by progressives? When you have a cultural group, in this case the Chinese, you don't mess with them if they're against this type of situation. You just don't. That's not the way to go. So how come you can do it here? Well, you can do it here because they want to. Because the forces you're arrayed against, unions who are plugged in, the black clergy, Sixer billionaires, they're going to rule the day. That's what they want. So it doesn't matter how ridiculous this whole thing is. All right, 855-839-1210. Now, Jeff Van Drew coming up at 1:15. Here is one more. This is cut, this is cut 10. Here's Representative Gonzalez supporting, or at least saying, that he had similar conversations that Van Drew did about the mothership and the drones. Cut 10.
Now, Congressman Gonzalez, is this a national security threat?
It is, or it could be, very likely maybe. I did have a conversation this morning with a high-level law enforcement official where we talked about the possibility of a mothership being there with the drones. I think the fact that we don't have definitive answers is worrisome. Sitting on the Appropriations Committee, I often ask, where is our money going? And then the other question is, if we don't know the answers, why? And when I got a response yesterday that said, the FBI only has a budget of $500,000 and Customs and Border Protection only has a budget of $0 for counter drones, this is a problem.
Well, look, you want to talk about budgeting. Think about the budget and resources among all those municipalities, in particularly New Jersey, near where the incoming president, number 47 for this nation, lives. I mean, can you imagine what those sheriff's departments and police officers are going through? They're having to talk with the public that is not informed on something that some of these drones have been reported to be the size of an SUV, Congressman.
You're right, and these threats are very real. Here we have, it's not as if a what if could happen to President Trump. This has already happened, and other threats have been circulated. The Iranians are surely always up to no good. It's just we have to keep our eye on the ball, and ultimately, the American people deserve to know what is happening, where their taxpayers' dollars going, and if they're not getting answers, well, how do we put resources towards making sure law enforcement has every instrument possible to keep us safe, and also, more important, probably ultimately important, keep the President of the United States, or the incoming President of the United States, Trump, equally as safe.
Look.
All right, so he backs up Jeff Van Drew's supposition here about something that he was told by very good sources. He'll be here at 1:15. The thing that's maddening, even after yesterday, even after this onslaught, the people that have the power in this situation, or what appears to be, are still not going to answer the American people, not going to do anything about it, and we're going to continue down this path. Now, if this were, I don't know how many years ago, people might say, hey, shut up. We need to have the government secrecy on this. They're handling it. You don't know what they know, all that type of stuff. We no longer think that way. We immediately think, or I immediately think, they're incompetent / arrogant / deep state, and God knows what else in this. And no, we're not going to stand down on this and let them work it out, that cut I played you. They're not working anything out. And this wouldn't happen in Trump years. No way, shape, or form. We would have shot several of these down already, and we would have gotten to the bottom of this. But even after all this, the tick, tick, tick of this, I don't see any breakthrough today by anybody that is puncturing this cocoon of arrogance and incompetency. You heard what he said, too. Why don't we have more in the budgets? We have a drone gap here to deal with something like this. 855-839-1210, you get on board. And I'm looking at a headline on Fox, FBI, White House, Pentagon have no answers. Okay, then. Well, then you ought to be replaced by somebody that does have answers or will get answers. You can't throw your hands up and say we have no answers on this. Does that seem to you to make any sense at all? I mean, you're probably not just the people in Jersey. If you're like me, you're not even controlling any of this, and you're coming out of your skin saying, what? This isn't a 24-hour thing. This is going on for quite a while. What's our response to this? 855-839-1210, you get on board. Also, this whole arena thing. My narrative is this is exposure of what Philadelphia and progressive towns, what they're all about. You have insiders who are taken care of here. It's reflected by the building trades and the unions and then the black clergy. Well, what about the Asians? Well, they're white adjacent. Chinatown, that's white adjacent. That's what they're called. They don't have the clout, but you're wrecking our culture here. It's obvious. It's already crowded there, etc. Plus, this is a boondoggle. Well, we don't care. You're Asians. Look at the script. You don't have any clout here. It doesn't matter. Well, what about the gridlock that's going to be caused by this and people trying to get to Jefferson, emergency and all? Hey, few people die, heart attacks, etc. Look at all the redevelopment we're doing here. Just think about it. Don't go outside. You might be hit by lightning. Dom Giordano and the Inquirer were pretty much on the same page. Ugh. The Working Families Party. Well, I'm never on the same page with them, but I would have voted with them.
Get out there and start chanting there too, Dom?
I think the conservative vote, is to vote against this.
I mean, it's industry. I mean, what are you going to bring out there to East Market then? It's there's.
It's not industry. It's subsidy. It's letting people.
It's development, though.
It's development, though, that other developers are not allowed to do. Why do they get the path to this? What's so magical about it?
Because no one's else proposing anything at this point. I mean,
well, okay, I'll give you an example. Temple wanted a stadium there. They said no way. The black neighborhood around there said we don't want the stadium. I mean, that's the rule, Dan. How about we've talked about where you used to live and all that, and some people come into the neighborhood. The guy, Kenyatta Johnson, who's brokering this. He's the guy that said you shouldn't be allowed to build houses with bay windows and balconies. That guy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what he's saying? That's white. That's gentrification.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we making an exception to the Sixers here? That's what I'm saying.
Because what it brings. I mean, it's why you make exceptions to sports teams all the time, and why taxpayers front the bill so many times for stadiums.
Well,
you know, it just. I feel like we're talking about how this is going to economically ruin the area, and it's probably true because what is it, like 70+% of the owners rent out their proproperties, so
something like
rental
that.
prices are going to go like skyrocket.
Yeah.
I mean. I look at innovation. I think, should we put a kibosh on it?
Well, look.
I think it would be so cool to have a stadium down there, and the business and industry that would bring along with it would completely revitalize our center city district.
Why sports, though? Why should I, as a taxpayer, pay for this? They're billionaires.
Because what are you going to do? A department store? Because that's not possible anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't want to pay for
a Disney
I don't want to pay
interactive
for the
exhibit.
Phillies,
That
the
didn't work.
Sixers. I don't want to pay. Why should I pay for any sports team to do anything? Why?
But what then? What do we put there? I mean.
I don't care what you put there.
You have a company here who's coming with proposals.
No, Dan, I'm not talking about just this. I'm saying I sued and went to Superior Court. I lost 4-3, saying we shouldn't subsidize any pro sports team in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think you think we should.
Yeah, I think there's a definite argument in favor of subsidizing sports teams.
Why sports teams?
Because what they bring to a city. I mean, there's so much peripherals that come with sports coming into.
Allegedly. Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, name me I mean, it's hard to do, but I can name 10 examples of stadiums that are downtown that are completely revitalize the area and have a great environment. I can't name one that, looks like trash and didn't do that.
Okay, but they're not revitalizing anything in South Philly.
But they would be here in the East Market.
Well, I challenge that. I think it's just...
You don't think it would completely revitalize it?
No, it's silly.
Make it bustling again around City Hall?
I will take that bet. It's going to be, 9 years before I win? It's silliness. Who's going to ride SEPTA? Give me a call if you're in Radnor now. Henry, you're in Malvern. You riding SEPTA to it? You might. You love basketball.
I have. I did. I did it on Saturday, actually.
You're alive.
Down to Wells Fargo, yeah.
Okay. You think people, though, with families are going to bring kids to Sixers games?
Yeah, and I think it's going to make...
I think SEPTA's
based
fine.
on what?
Not only that, I think the industry that it brings with it's going to make all those properties along that Broad Street line skyrocket in price as well.
I do agree with Dom in a sense that I do think the stadium is like putting the cart before the horse. I feel like there's a lot of infrastructure needs that still need to be met before you can even think about doing something like this, before the area can say gets revitalized. I think there's a lot of steps to go before they can just plant this arena here, and I don't think.
Well, Dan, you've been
steps.
a
my counter to that though is
in SEPTA than I have, or right up there with me, and now you're telling me SEPTA.
No, but what you're essentially saying is put trust in the city to make some changes first. But we've allowed that now for 30+ years. You look at what's called the Disney Hole there at 8th and Market. It's been a parking lot, and nothing has been in East Market because the city has been responsible for a location that hasn't had any development. And it's completely ruined the area. So. Saying that we need to put the horse before the cart here and essentially leave it to the city to fix this or the state to bring in SEPTA, I feel like you got to force their hand some way, and giving them a 9-year deadline is enough time for them to completely reorganize, and now they have to change. They don't have a choice.
They won't do it. That's their choice, their government. All right, I'll take that bet. 9-year bet. This is a long bet.
Maybe they'll say they'll do it. Will they act on it? Nah.
They can't. They're incompetent. The whole system
that's
with
what I'm
SEPTA
saying,
is impossible to do that. I hear your point. They're desperate. Maybe we want to go over to
I just feel like
Chinatown.
it's so counterintuitive to the advancement of where the city can go with this. Just by saying, waving our fists at the clouds and saying we don't want development in our center city district.
What else are you going to put there, actually, that would draw people in?
I mean, it's a question we can ask listeners.
Exactly.
What's something that could go in the East Market area that draws
honestly,
people
an arena is probably the best thing because, you aren't going to put in a big department store anymore or something like that.
We've tried Hard Rock Cafe, hotels are there.
So you guys then are negating
a gallery
a city
of,
having a Chinatown, the cultural. Any big city has a Chinatown. You got to let that alone.
Well, it abuts Chinatown. This whole inside Chinatown is... It's going to have a drastic effect on Chinatown, but what are we going to? How far do we move it to Rittenhouse Square, and does that then affect South Philly?
Well, you just said it there. You can't build it in Rittenhouse Square. We know why. They have the clout.
Well, there's also nowhere to build it.
Okay, I'll give you that for now. But
I'll throw it out. Why not Broad and Lehigh?
That's right. You remember that from the Inquirer yesterday. It was the all-time great argument. I'm sure SEPTA will be like the Jetsons.
We have the same dang arguments. Oh, Broad and Lehigh, we can't do it there because X. We're never going to have a stadium downtown then. We're never going to have a Center City stadium. Just let's put it at that.
All right.
And we're going to keep an area of the city a complete hole of nothingness where packs of teenagers rove around and shoplift left and right and bitch and moan about that and say we need changes for the city and then bitch and moan about those changes when they're offered to us.
All right, 855-839-1210. There's a good starting point. You can get in. Would you take the look, you have to project, in fairness, 9 years into the future. I wouldn't subsidize any sports team, though. I just think we've gone way too far with that in too many places. I hear the arguments. I'm on the other side. I would have voted with the extreme progressives today. Oh, man, what a motley crew.
Honestly, the whole subsidizing sport, I'd rather my tax money, had I still lived in Philadelphia, go towards helping the stadium bring innovation and a complete new culture to, Center City, Philadelphia, over throwing billions of dollars at schools and not having air conditioning.
Well, that's true, but I think they're both boondoggles. So I don't think we ought to pay just because it's sports. These guys hadn't enough money. Build your own stadium. All right.
If you don't pay, you might end up like the Athletics and they'll leave. That's what happened to Oakland.
Oh my God!
All right, I want a basketball team here. I did.
I hear you. Look, it's crack cocaine. We all want it. Eagles are the ones that threaten to go to Phoenix. Leonard Toes.
Margaret suggests that we fix the solution. The solution to fixing East Market would be put a Horn and Hardits there, dumb. She says, the worst idea ever. Why do they not go to Camden? The residents of Chinatown are not being respected at all. Put in a Horn and Hardits and other small businesses. Agree with you 100%.
God, please, you're not helping me. You're not helping me with the Horn and Hardits. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's put the stadium in Camden. Oh, man, yes.
Yeah.
Much safer. Hey, Christmas and New Year's, the days are counting down and you're as busy as ever. Need help, party, and meal planning? No worries. Let me remind you how much Captain Chuckies has to offer for your holiday table. Whether you're hosting or going to gatherings, remember how much you can stock up at Captain Chuckies. Now, we all know Captain Chuckies is known for those fantastic crab cakes, the wild-caught Gulf shrimp, and soups. Captain Chuckies is teaming up, though, with some well-known family businesses to offer great products. Captain Chuckies and Marciano's Bakery of Philadelphia now launched their newest invention, the Bang Bang Crab Cake and Cheese Specialty Bread, available exclusively at most Captain Chuckies locations. They also have a Taste of Philly section in most stores that carry great family-owned items. Stock's Pound Cakes, Marciano's Specialty Breads, pierogies from the Pierogi Kitchen of Roxborough, Chef Matt's Key Lime Pies, Derby's Philadelphia Famous Clams Casino, and also Vera Pasta Company of Westchester. They produce Captain Chucky's own line of pasta, including 3 different raviolis, their own lobster, bangin' crab, and finally their shrimp scampi ravioli, and their own jarred blush sauce. So just check out their website and local Captain Chucky's for availability. And don't forget those Dom rolls for your holiday table. Easy to find all these great things. Just go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. And if you're headed to the shore, don't forget Captain Chucky's at the shore. Visit CaptainChucky's@theshore.com.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
A typical December-like air mass return to the Delaware Valley today. We'll see a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Still windy with a high of around 42. Very cold tonight, diminishing wind, mostly clear with a low 24. And for Friday, not as windy but chilly. Plenty of sunshine with a high 38.
Celebrate the journey during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Discover exceptional offers on the vehicles you're bound to love this season. Schedule a test drive at Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, Wilmington, or Atlantic City today.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 135 undergraduate and graduate undergraduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. University of Maryland Global Campus keeps your educational goals attainable with no-cost digital materials, replacing textbooks in most courses, affordable tuition, and over $15 million in scholarship opportunities available each year. Find out if you qualify. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC. NPN number 2083768.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. DuckDuckGo has millions of users and thousands of 5-star reviews. Local company making privacy products in our area since 2010. I want to tell you about Privacy Pro, and you're going to get a 30-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Why do you need Privacy Pro? Well, come on, it's so obvious, right? With all the hackers and scammers out there. Privacy Pro is your 3-in-1 privacy solution from the name in privacy, DuckDuckGo. You're going to get the VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. And subscribers get a service that will help restore your identity if it gets stolen. Plus, you get the VPN to secure your Wi-Fi connection wherever you are. And I'm always on the road, so that's huge for me. And personal information removal. I don't want anybody knowing any of my personal details. You get all that for less than $10 a month. It's amazing. You got to have it in this day and age. And you get a 30-day free trial, but only if you go to DuckDuckGo.com/1210. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Sign up today just like I did. DuckDuckGo.com/1210.
Power up the holiday and get a gift from the top of their wish list. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at SteelUSA.com.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Tom Giordano show. Welcome in. All right, great stuff here from Dan today. Does it fly? Oh, here comes his attorney friend to the show, Tom of Rosemont. Always the contrarian, Mr. Soccer. He probably likes it. Soccer teams are playing at these stadiums.
Take the train down to the Union?
Oh, man. Let's go to Tom in Rosemont. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Dom. There's 3 things I disagree with you about. Savesies for parking spaces, Ukrainian military funding, and the stadium. I feel like I've been summoned to educate you, Dom. I do live in Radnor. It is a 28-minute ride to Suburban Station and a 5-minute walk to where they're proposing the stadium, okay? I do it 5 days a week because my office, where I'm looking right now at City Hall and up at William Penn, there are going to be thousands of parking spaces open at 5:30 because it's a ghost town in Philadelphia after people go home.
So Tom, wait a minute, though. You're telling me the people from Radnor are going to be coming out there at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night after another Sixers loss with their kids and merrily skipping through the tulips of Center City, Philadelphia?
All right. First of all, we're talking about 41 home games and a second-round exit for most years, okay? So we're talking about that.
Yes.
Second, of those games, probably only 20 would be during the week. The rest would be on the weekends. So, yes, I think families will come out. And while you may enjoy, or some people may enjoy, spending an hour to pay the exorbitant $30 to park at the Wells Fargo Center and then spending another hour to get out of that just to get to Broad Street, I don't. I get my pass, I get on the train, I get off, I walk over. It is a zombie ghost land where the current dead mall is, Dom. And I think people would enjoy going to Chinatown. They do have restaurants. Here's my question. Cleveland has a baseball stadium right in the middle of town. Right. Pittsburgh has hockey, baseball, and football right in the town. Why are we inferior to them? Why can't we have nice things too?
We're not inferior, but SEPTA is not safe, and I would tell you it's not going to be safe. I wouldn't ride SEPTA. The last time I did it was in 2016, Tom. It's not safe.
I ride it every day, Tom.
I think we're completely ignoring a big fact here, both. Like when you ride SEPTA down to South Philly at 2 a.m., yeah, that's one story. But when you ride SEPTA down to South Philly during or before and after an Eagles game or a Phillies game, you're surrounded by a sea of green or red, and that's going to be replicated for the Sixers games. That you'd be surrounded by a shoulder-to-shoulder Sixers fans. There's not going to be an opportunity for the kind of crime that we see of people smoking crack on the subways.
Wait a minute, you guys. You're going down to South Philly though, which is a much safer zone. This is in Center City. Criminals are going to prey on people.
What do you mean South Philly's a more safer zone than Center City?
It is. Broad Street in South Philly's safe. Through Packer Park and all that. That's a safe area of the city. This is not.
But, Tom, if you talk about economic development, nobody has dinner or anything down in South Philly. They go to Xfinity Live,
right.
They get back in their car, and they leave. So here, you'd actually have a benefit. There are plenty of restaurants around that people could go to and enjoy it. Like I said, it is a big, gaping hole right now in the city's economic future. And the Sixers are paying for it. You keep talking about tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. SEPTA needs improvement anyway, okay? And in this opportunity, the Sixers are going to pay for a lot of it. And I think people will be safe in numbers on the stands. Like I said, I don't know that you'd necessarily be in much better shape except possibly getting beaten up by Knicks fans if you go down to South Philly.
So you don't buy this gridlock then? I mean, come on, Tom. You're taking the train in. You're not down there driving through that area. Chinatown is already borderline gridlock. Why are these people against it then in Center City, though? What we're telling them, you just don't know reality. You're just NIMBYs, I guess.
It's the same reason there's no Phillies stadium where it should have been at Broad and Spring Garden. They haven't paid off enough people yet, Dom. This may actually pay off enough people. I lived in Center City. I've worked in Center City for 30 years. I've walked those streets. My office is 2 blocks away from where it would be. I would have no problem. And again, 21 most likely home games a year is not going to paralyze the city.
All right, the biggest argument I would come up with, though, the people in Chinatown don't want it. So you're saying, well, you're not a progressive, you're a conservative. But the progressive mantra is, if they don't want it, you can't put it in that neighborhood.
Again, they are a small group, a respected group, holding the rest of the city hostage on a development. And realistically, all the people who say they love Chinatown and all the great things there probably haven't been there in 15 or 20 years.
Well,
to them,
that I would agree. Go. Yeah, that last point, I would agree. So what's the song, Tom, for the drones in the sky? What do you have?
It's the end of the world as we know it, Tom.
Perfect. Nicely played. Thanks, Tom. Have a good Christmas.
Have a good day.
Don't talk.
Good holiday.
All right, he's one of the all-timers here. I think
somebody got a caller
alleged
that he's a paid plant from the Sixers.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't ask you about this. You would not believe the number of people, Dan, on other shows that I do that say, full disclosure, my husband, my kids all work for this, that, or the other, that are associated with it. All right, 855-839-1210.
From what we understand, he is not associated with the Sixers.
No, he's not. No. He's not. And look, I love basketball too, but this is just ludicrous stuff by these guys, throwing their weight around. No necessity for it. Even Bob Brady on the show talked about what they're doing down there for them. They just want their cake and eat it too. Okay. All I'm saying is, you're not contradictory, Dan, but city council is. They're not following their own stuff because you have the right people that run Philadelphia, the black clergy and the building trade unions. They're allied. So to hell with anything else. All right, 855-839-1210. You get in on Talk Radio 1210.
Dawn Stensland here. You may have heard I've fallen in love again with Italia. Now I know why Italy is the most revisited country in the world. Join me next spring on the Italian Riviera. Lorenzo and Romina, yes, will be back with us once again. Conservative Tours has crafted an itinerary that is sure to enchant us. Tuscany, the Riviera, the Northern Italian Lakes region, Cinque Terre, and dining events you'll write home about. $53.78. Yes, that includes your airfare. He's a Michelangelo's Florence and the fashion capital of Milan. Call toll-free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Luxury hotels, a Mercedes coach, and a tour leader who is absolutely the best. That is Conservative Tours in Italy. A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Charming Siena, home to Il Palio, the medieval Manhattan, San Gimignano, Modena, Lake Como, Vernazza. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Portofino.
For the area's finest dining experience with fabulous cuisine, extensive wine list, and waterfront views of the Philly skyline, visit the River Winds Restaurant in West Deptford, New Jersey. Enjoy entrees that feature certified Black Angus steaks and the freshest seafood while overlooking the Delaware River. River Winds can host your next special event. They'll plan your holiday party, family gathering, or corporate meeting in one of their newly renovated waterfront rooms, each with a private deck. For an incredible dining experience or special event, theriverwindsrestaurant.com.
It's the 12 days of savings at Spring Dance Hot Tubs. From December 12th through 24th, every day brings amazing deals. On the first day of savings, Spring Dance gave to me up to $5,000 off a hot spring grandee. On the second day of savings, Spring Dance gave to me new auto ship for all water care with no shipping fee. On the third day of savings, Spring Dance gave to me savings up to $2,500 on our sauna floor model clear-out sale. The 12 days of savings only at Spring Dance Hot Tubs. Visit springdancehot.com for more deals.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-688-6641.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos? Starting now, radio listeners get access to our best last-minute holiday deals from Legacy Box. Get your family's videotapes converted for just $9 and photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents each, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box to digitize your entire collection of old media. Everything from the embarrassing haircut you had in the 90s to photos of your great-grandma's wedding. Visit legacybox.com/value to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. Oh, and don't forget, Legacy Box also digitizes over 15 other types of analog media. It's the most meaningful gift you can give this holiday season. Take advantage of this exclusive last-minute holiday offer from Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Not yet. Do it today. Okay. At 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
All right. On the good news front, boy, we are having a big match today for the Caller of the Year. Dan, who's on the agenda?
Yeah, Dom, big matchup today. Dom Show 2024 Caller of the Year. First matchup in the second round is between two heavyweights, Dom. Gary, a.k.a. the caller that shows up at all those live events, takes on Robert in Bensalem. Gary in Newtown versus Robert in Bensalem. You all know Robert in Bensalem as who's become one of the Hall of Fame.
Sam Elliott, yes.
Yeah, side question callers.
Yeah.
So, a big matchup playing out right now at Dom Show 1210 on Twitter. Go cast your vote for 2024 Caller of the Year. Robert Bensalem, Gary in Newtown. Current vote stands 62.5% Robert Bensalem, 37.5% Gary in Newtown. Go make your vote.
And this will end at the end of the show, so you only have until then.
Yes. And then stay tuned for after the show. We'll have our second matchup, Dom. Today we'll have Scott in Mount Laurel versus Bruce in the Northeast.
Oh, another big match here. We're starting to get to the real heavyweights. And I've been getting behind-the-scenes messages from some of the heavyweights, all kinds of things. They feel bad, after Earl dropped out. Maybe they should, too, stuff like this.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Come on. You're the core of the year. Everybody wants this.
So just a quick recap. First round, Gary Newtown took on Allen, not a male, in Yardley. Gary Newtown beat him. That's why he's taking on Robert in Mid-Salem. You got Scott in Mount Laurel, who got a first-round bye, taking on Bruce in the Northeast. We just announced that will be after the show today. Bruce defeated Drew in Upper Darby in the first round. On the other side of the bracket, you have Bill and Bucks taking on Joe of Exton in the second round. Bill of Bucks got his position after beating Jimmy Matthews. Joe of Exton got a bye due to his performance last year. And then you have Tom and Marlton losing to Joe of Columbus, who advances. So Joe of Columbus faces off with Leslie and Bryn Mawr for the second round final. 8, Dom, that is Gary in Newtown, Robert in Bensalem, Scott in Mount Laurel, Bruce in the Northeast, Bill of Bucks, Joe of Exton, Leslie and Bryn Mawr, Joe of Columbus. Stay tuned, Dom Show 1210 for all those matchups.
I give you a dark horse against the biggies from last year. That Joe of Columbus, watch him. This guy's got a fan base out there on my Twitter, Watch him in upcoming rounds.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's really grown.
All right, let me go to Joe in Bordentown. Joe, what do you have today?
Klaatu Barada Nikto, Dom. I have from 1962 the song Telstar by the Tornadoes.
And tell us about it. I don't know that song.
They launched the first satellite where you could send television transmissions from like Britain and Europe in 1962, and this song was made by the Tornadoes to commemorate it.
Very Earl-like answer that you got there.
All right, very nice. We'll put that one down, Joe. Thank you very much. Coming up, we're going to talk with Michael Gear. Got to get you an update on this incursion by Planned Parenthood into school board elections, big time in 2025. And then the man of the hour, 1:15, Jeff Van Drew fires back today at the critics, and he's kind of doubling down on what he said yesterday. Keep the calls coming, too, on the stadium. Dom time here on Talk Radio 1210.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
The secret to savings is out. One place, 2 words.
More money!
Starting at just $3.99, you can find something for everyone in your family and on your list. Make it easy for yourself. Grab gifts that are already in a box. If you're looking for serious savings and style, grab Adidas, Champion, Puma, Reebok, Converse. The list goes on and on. Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10.
More money!
You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years.
He was in big trouble.
We're going to take your house, garnish your pay.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm.
I don't owe the IRS anymore. It was because of Optima Tax.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Actual client compensated for sharing their experience. Visit OptimaTaxRelief.com for details.
This is Larry Steinhardt with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhardt with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there, investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/gutter to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/gutter for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in. Jeff Van Drew will be here this hour. He's doubling down on the stuff that we heard yesterday, making even more news. But first, Planned Parenthood. I saw this at the beginning of the week, making a big move. I think it was a tweet or something that came out from the Pennsylvania Family Institute. We have their founding president and CEO of the Pennsylvania Family Institute, Michael Geer, with us about Planned Parenthood in 2025, their concerted effort, their incursion, even more funding in school board races. And you know, the biggest area there would be the issues of abortion, these health clinics in schools. So let's go to Michael Geer in Harrisburg on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Michael, welcome back. Merry Christmas, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you and all your listeners.
So I saw this the other day, then some local people really got on it, and on Twitter there were quite a number of threads of people seeing this as ominous. What's happening?
Well, basically, they did a webinar after the November elections earlier or last month, basically outlining both their dismay at what happened in the national elections and some of the elections that took place, but then talking about, this is Planned Parenthood Pennsylvania, their PAC, talking about what their plans were for 2025. They're heavily involved in campaigns in many different ways. They get lots of taxpayer dollars, and then they pay the politicians back with political contributions and support. They did so with Tom Wolf. They did that with Josh Shapiro, and they kind of get payback with some of the policies that are enacted by people in elected office. Their engagement in the school board realm, at least to our knowledge in Pennsylvania, has not happened before, with one exception. That was in the 2023 elections in Lancaster County, the Manheim Township. The Manheim Township School District. There, they endorsed candidates in that race, specific endorsements of candidates they wanted to see take office, and all of their endorsed candidates won because they have a lot of muscle. They spend a lot of money. I don't know how much they spend in that particular race. So in this webinar, they talked about their plans to engage in school board races in 2025. So those are the kinds of races that often don't show up on the radar screen of Pennsylvania voters, but those who care about the well-being of children and what happens in our schools need to pay attention, because these races all across our state are going to be vitally important.
So is it influencing these health clinics that appear in schools, or is it influencing the curriculum potentially?
It's probably a lot of all of it.
Okay.
Number one, Planned Parenthood has, in a number of states around the country, they've drafted legislation mandating their form of comprehensive sex education. They tried to do that back here in the early 2010s here in Pennsylvania to try to mandate so-called comprehensive sex education, and their definition of it, which is explicit and basically has no boundaries, and sex for pleasure's sake, and that feeds into their abortion. They view abortion as birth control and would direct kids in that that direction. We were able to defeat that legislation here in Pennsylvania. A number of states have it in place. Planned Parenthood gets involved in the curriculum. They have speakers that come into the schools. And so when they then can be the gatekeepers, get their people elected, if you will, to school board decisions, then the hiring, the curriculum, the things that come into the classroom, not just about abortion or sexual activity, but on things like the transgender ideology.
Yes.
Many of your listeners may not know this, but Planned Parenthood is one of the largest, if not now the largest purveyor of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones and things in the transgender movement. That's a growth industry for them. And so they getting that ideology and curriculum and speakers that come into the school, whether there's guest speakers, which getting a thumbs up from a school board is the kind of things that they're looking for. They can't mandate it at the state level. They're happy to then get school board members elected to then force or push their ideology in the schools.
I was unaware of that. Thank you. And the puberty blockers, I thought there were other identities. Michael, you guys are very savvy politically, too, across Pennsylvania. Why did abortion, let's just stick to Pennsylvania, not have the impact the Democrats were hoping for as it did in 2022? I know it's 2 years more down the road, but I thought for sure suburban women and all that type of stuff. Has the issue fizzled, or was it just the Trump effect?
It's fizzling. I think the Trump effect did play into it, but I do think it's fizzling. It hasn't fully fizzled, but I think that they sort of reached way too far. The sort of scare tactics that they employed in the 2022 elections, after the Dobbs decision came down, saying that women are going to be at risk and they can't get miscarriage care, and if they have an ectopic pregnancy, that in a state that provides protections for an unborn life would prevent them from getting that kind of care. And people started awakening to, hey, wait a minute, we're not being told the truth here. They're extreme. Tim Walz and what happened in Minnesota, people started to realize, hey, wait a minute, these people, even though they deny it, they do support abortion until birth. We had a congressional race here in central Pennsylvania, the 10th district, I believe it was, where all of the Democrat candidates in the primary asked the question, how many of you could support any restrictions on abortion whatsoever, and none of them would raise their hand. They basically do believe in abortion right up until birth, and that's an extreme position that most voters now are realizing is extreme and are not supporting that to the way they did in 2022.
Good to hear that. Michael, thank you very much. Where do people go to find the Pennsylvania Family Institute?
We have a great website that people can visit at pafamily.org.
pafamily.org. Michael, thank you as always.
Thanks, Tom.
Michael Gear here on Talk Radio 1210. I did not know that about Planned Parenthood, one of the biggest purveyors of puberty blockers. By the way, puberty blockers are banned now in the UK. They're banned indefinitely. This just came down the last couple of days for anyone under 18. The health secretary says emergency measures banning sale and supply for gender dysphoria will be made indefinite after expert advice. Yet Planned Parenthood is one of the biggest purveyors here. All right, we got this, Henry, if you can maybe pull some of that. I'm just going on the fly. The government has just released a report on the FBI's handling of January 6th, the Inspector General, and we'll see what that just came down a couple moments ago, what they say the FBI's role was on January 6th. All right, we got Jeff Van Drew in the On Deck Circle. We have the ladies on The View. Henry's putting it together now. Just in spasm today because RFK Jr. wants to crack down on Ozempic and manage weight. Whoopi saying that he's fat shaming. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Don't take away my own Ozempic. The ladies on The View. It's just, can you imagine? I think RFK would go on The View, RFK Jr. Oh, my God. 855-839-1210. The report says 26 confidential human sources were in the crowd. 26 confidential human sources. That's what they were able to find so far. That's 26. How many of them were provocateurs? Now, you know my stance on this if you're a new listener, just to be clear. For those that we know assaulted cops, those that conspired to pull this off, I go each case individually. And some of these people, I see 10 years in jail. I see all that stuff. But there are multitudes of people who were basically walking through the Capitol. And I think Trump's going to commute that or pardon that on day one. But what about the other provocateurs here? One confidential human source tasked by the FBI to be at the rally did enter the Capitol, says the report. This just coming down. I'm doing it on the fly as we're going on here. Now, Jeff Van Drew is with us on the drone thing, but I will ask him about this as far as what he knows at this point. 23 sources came to the Capitol on their own. Now, this is a preliminary report, meaning this is all the inspector. How many years after the fact is this? Almost 4. The inspector general report is limited. After all, the FBI is not investigating itself here. Kash Patel gets in here. You can see this is a minefield for the FBI. Why did they have all these confidential human sources there? They say they were not undercover agent. What were they then? Okay, I mean, I'm doing this on the fly, but this is exactly the type of stuff that makes you wonder about a lot of this. All right, I'll ask Jeff Van Drew about this, but mainly he's coming on to lay out once again where we are with the drones. That's next on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale & Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
These unidentified drones that are flying over New Jersey, they're saying they should declare some kind of a state of emergency.
Here's a marketing idea. I know yesterday was the sales day, so this probably won't be heard for another 6 days. We need to have a Kale & Company drone watch party.
Oh, boy.
We gather wherever these are. We'll go to Jersey, get mulligans on the line. Yeah. We're all going to sit outside, put the fire pits on. We'll have some drinks, and we'll watch drones.
Johnny Z, are you listening, buddy?
Let's go.
Open up mulligans. Let's do this, buddy.
Start your day with Kale & Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
You have key decisions to make about your money. Most investors don't beat the market, and neither do the hedge funds, who take a share of your profits. What if there was another way? A way for you to keep total control over your money where the interests were aligned. That's what the exclusive crash-proof retirement system is all about.
Mike Bisaccia of Logan Township, New Jersey. You can't follow the market because nobody can predict it. What you have today could be gone tomorrow. That's the way it works, up and down, and your money goes up and down. That's what led me to see if there was another alternative. Crash-proof retirement gave me that alternative. With crash-proof retirement, the money you make is credited to your account, and that money's yours. No ifs, ands, or buts. No fees. We had a high point of 13.5%. Once it's credited, it's your money to keep. That's a big deal.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the Copperfield Inn on January 22nd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Gerhardt's Appliances has what you need to be tailgate ready this season for the birds. Whether it's the in-home appliances needed to prepare your famous Kelly green pepper casserole before pregame, or the barbecue grills you'll need to fire up the last of your sausage links in the parking lot before kickoff, Gerhardt's has you covered with the best game day deals on appliances. Gerhardt's Appliances, helping Philly sports fans get the season cooking since 1945. Visit Gerhardt'sAppliance.com.
Looking for that unique gift or hard-to-find collectible? Look no further than Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys. Nicholas Smith has over 60,000 items for you to shop at both nicholassmithtrains.com and nicholassmithtoys.com. But come into the store on Westchester Pike Broomall and get lost in old and new technology. technology. Pretend play, RC and slot cars, Western play, Madame Alexander dolls, mechanical robots, superhero action figures, Playmobil, Lego, Disney, and much, much more. Right off the Blue Route, visit Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys this holiday or any day.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Jeff Van Drew will be with us momentarily here on the Dom Giordano Show to update us on everything that's going on, even more than yesterday. Here's a little bit of a summation from Fox News Channel on this Inspector General report on the FBI people in the crowd at January 6th.
According to this new report, there were no undercover FBI agents. However, there were 3 confidential human sources tasked by the Bureau to be in the crowd on January 6th to specifically watch what the report states is concerns over domestic terrorism. Out of those 3, Sandra and John, 1 entered the Capitol, 2 others entered a restricted area. The report says the FBI did not encourage or authorize any sources to go into the building or a restricted area. In addition to the 3 confidential human sources, the FBI told there were 23 that were there on their own. Now, they had worked with the FBI in the past on other cases, but not specifically on the January 6th rally. Some of them entered a restricted area as well. And what stands out in this report, John and Sandra, none of the confidential human sources that entered the U.S. Capitol or a restricted area were prosecuted by the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office. Remember, this is an office that is still arresting nearly 4 years later and prosecuting people with this case. Now, in a response to the Inspector General, the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office says the following. The D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office generally has not charged those individuals whose only crime on January 6, 2021 was to enter the restricted grounds surrounding the Capitol, which has resulted in the office declining to charge hundreds of individuals, and we have treated the confidential human sources as consistent with this approach. Outgoing FBI Director Christopher Wray, who announced that he would be stepping down in the next few weeks yesterday, has been pressed on the FBI's role on January 6th. Here's just one clip from last year.
All right, thank you, Dan. There's the nugget. Now, we're going to check and fact-check that. Is there consistency? You know, in the shooting of Ashley Babbitt, there was not, that the guy who did that did not go through normal procedures. I'll ask Jeff Van Drew about this. He may not have seen it, given all the other stuff he's involved in here. Big issues, big gas. Nothing bigger than having this nonsense continue on. And the world just says, well, why is somebody not doing anything, or at least telling us what it is with certitude? Let's go to Congressman Jeff Van Drew here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Congressman, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. How do you feel today? How's today been for you?
Very busy, obviously. And I feel good in that something just came out, and break it to you. So there's a publication I'm sure you've heard of, Business Insider, and it's been reported in Business Insider and in Politico, confirmation that an Iranian drone ship left port in November and is no longer in port. That's exactly what we said. Now, I bring this up because when the Pentagon had its press conference and when Governor Murphy did his radio show, they pretty much mocked what I said. They made a joke out of an Iranian drone ship, that there was such a thing. So now we have independent public confirmation. See, I can't do that because the individuals who told me days ago are high-level, responsible, high-security clearance people that felt this was important enough to tell me. They are straight shooters. They're very significant individuals.
I underlined the word mockery, too. I hear with Murphy, you know, these are not serious people. You know that, and I know that would mock something like this. And Representative Gonzalez, I believe, right, backs you up.
Yeah.
He may have other sources, but similar to this. Congressman Dan, my producer, has a question.
Yeah, Congressman, this ship that you're talking about, because there's been a lot of discussion, and it's unfair, the coverage that you've gotten, because this article's been out there. I mean, Business Insider had this back on December 5th, so if any journalist just did any kind of research, they could have found exactly what you're talking about. And I myself, I did do some research here, and I found, can you give us some information about the ship? Because what they did, I think they took a cargo ship, they bought an old cargo ship, retrofitted it with like a runway, and created like an actual ship from scratch.
I mean, this is so bad and so wrong at so many levels. We spend almost $1 trillion a year in the Pentagon, but they can't even get their act together. They are so far. I've said this. I said it before. It's not the first time I said it yesterday. China is a decade ahead of us. We are too. And I'm serious about this. We are too worried about DEI and paying for sex changes in the different agencies and using the proper pronouns. Man, we got to get focused as a country. This is serious stuff. These other folks aren't kidding around. These countries are serious. They want to be number one. They want to take over. We need to do way better. That's the one issue. And yeah, you're right. They retrofitted the ship. They've been dealing with China, getting information, technology, and material itself. They've been getting the drones. So these drones are very sophisticated. We don't have them. They can navigate well at night. The sophistication on how they are navigating is amazing because they're making sure not to be detected by radar. And by the way, our radar is not capable of actually fingerprinting them. So now the Department of Defense, the military, is bringing in some more radar, which nobody has announced, but I'm telling you it's true, and it eventually will be announced. But there's something called rapid response. Well, this to me should be called slow, dumbass response. I've never seen anything like it. I feel like I'm living in bizarre.
Well, I'm putting that headline on top of the building. Henry, get out there at that big sign. I know it's windy. Slow, dumbass response.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's maddening, and particularly somebody like you on the front lines who's urgent. Do you have any sense of what President Trump probably thinks about all this?
I'm sure that, obviously he's concerned. We're relating the information to him. I got it over to his executive assistant. He's got a lot going on. He certainly wouldn't have this wouldn't even happen with him. And if it did, it would be dealt with quickly. This is not complicated. We're making it complicated. They're too busy trying to mock me or discredit me. No, what you should do is, number one, find out that I don't think the deputy press, the one who ran the press conference, the deputy press secretary, I'm not even sure she understands what an Iranian drone ship is. I don't know if you saw that press conference.
Yes.
It looked like a high school press conference, like somebody in high school was trying to give a press conference. It was awful. It was uninformed. It wasn't focused. So the first thing they need to do is focus. Where is the ship? Maybe it's not here. I don't know where it is, but damn it, they should be tracking that anyhow.
For our listeners, while we have you here, Congressman, we'll just play a snippet of this so they hear exactly. I did see it, but we didn't play it yet.
It did sound like a high school.
Yeah, it did sound like a high school. Here's how it goes.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Notice the little Valley Girl inflection. Mothership.
I know.
That's always to tell. We're back in high school. Oh, we're going to get snippy now. We can't guard America, but we can snip, snip, snip. The silver lining here, to me, two things I observed from talking with you yesterday. One, this drone gap in a Trump administration is going to be addressed. And two, I think this helps Pete Hegseth's case when he goes after DEI, the Pentagon, the whole thing, and why we need a real shakeup.
No doubt. We are I could show you lists of equipment, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment that was ordered that is weather sensitive, that has been left out in the open air and just rusted and corroded and is ruined. And that's your tax dollars. The people who are listening to your show right now are breaking their back, earning a living, many of them working more than one job, And they don't mind paying the taxes if it's really keeping us safe, if it's really helping, if we're doing the right thing. But this is what they are sick of. I really am. I'm aggravated today. I was disappointed in the response. You know, they could have said, we disagree with Van Drew. You know, I don't think that's what it is. And by the way, if they don't think it's what it is, explain what it is. And I've said all along, and I'll say it again, I hope I am wrong. I hope it's not Iran, it's not Russia, it's not China. I hope it's some weird person. It's like a James Bond movie out there that has all these technology and all these resources, and we don't know who it is. And by the way, if there was such a thing, which I don't think there is, it should still be taken down so we can study it and figure out who the hell is doing it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it exactly. Do you have any sense, though? It's frustrating after all this time. This has gone on at least very intensely for the last week, of why we're blocked from doing anything. No one seems to be able to do anything. You're talking about shooting it down, et cetera, but whoever has that power, is it the president only that can order that? Do we know?
No, I don't believe it is. And by the way, the other frustrating part is when it was spoken about, one of the officials at the Pentagon said, well, the state can do that as well, or even the county sheriff.
Yes.
No, they can't, and no, they shouldn't. So I guess your $1 trillion a year isn't enough, so you want to go to local municipal police forces and sheriff's officers to deal with it? You can't make it up.
I can see them firing their handguns up here at the drone as it goes over. My God.
What in God's name? And you know what? It is funny as hell, except it's so serious. And so I go back from laughing and making jokes about it to literally being heartbroken that this is the condition our country is in. And by the way, any information, whoever it is, whatever it is, what information they wanted to gain, if that's the purpose, and we don't even know that, they've already got. You know, somebody said, well, we got to act and do something before it ends up like being the balloon that went across the country and they gathered and sent all that information. Hey, that's done. The balloon went across the country. They gathered the information. They sent it. Guess what? If it is similar, they have also accomplished their goal. This has been going on in one form or another for almost a month now, and it just became more intense. So there's something here. I don't know what's here. And, you know, I do pray one thing, and I don't think it is. I pray it's not our own government. If for some reason they did this and then are covering it up, that would be horrible. And I will say, I do not think it is. But if it's not that, again, Dom, think about it. We're all pretty smart people here. What is it?
Yeah, exactly. Now, Dan tells me, too, there are claims you are the anti-get involved in these wars. You're just doing this to stir up anger against Iran.
Dom, you should see the comments on Reddit, man. They're so unfair to this guy.
To get more wars.
No, I don't want to. I've been clear about this. You know, it's peace through strength. So what's happening in the Mideast is happening because we have a very weak president and administration. What's happening in Ukraine, the disaster in Afghanistan, all of it. And so my thought is, no, I don't. I'm tired. It hurts me. It makes me sick to see so many good veterans that are missing limbs, that are missing body parts, that have lost their life, whatever the case may be, lost their sight. Some of them lost their face. In all these conflicts that we get our American men and women involved in, and then we don't back it up. Afghanistan, our men and women died over there, and then we retreated with our tail in between our legs after we gained victory and could have had an orderly exit, didn't do it that way. And then those moms and dads and brothers and sisters come to me and say, what did they die for?
Yeah,
you know what? That's
exactly
not an easy
right.
Conversation when they're crying and looking you in the eye. I am sick of the wars. I want us to be strong. I don't want to get us in wars, and I'm tired of funding them all the time. And you know what? President Trump was right about Canada. You know why dentistry is free in Canada and health care is so abundant and free? Because they have no budget for defense, essentially nothing. The state of New Hampshire state police could pound them into oblivion. They don't have anything. We're protecting them. We're covering them. So our men and women have to work harder. So we have to spend more. So we can't do some of the things we want to do in this country. And I'm not saying we should stop doing that. But, man, at the same time, Canada, don't mock us. And Europe, don't mock us because you're here because we are here.
Exactly. You've been busy. I mean, you're right in the center of all this. But the Inspector General report came down on January 6th. We have 26 either former people who work with the FBI or were some kind of human source that day, some of whom did go into the Capitol, along with hundreds of others who have been prosecuted for it. And Fox just reported that the D.C. people are unclear at best about why these people were not also prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, the people that were under the umbrella, one way or the other, of the FBI.
Look, this FBI, thank God Ray's going, and I'm not being partisan here.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and you know what? That's one agreement that sometimes we have on Judiciary Committee, which again, I am in that mix. It's the Attorney General, the Department of Justice, the FBI. They all have to come before us. And there was some agreement at some levels, really finding fault with some of the things they do. It is justice for thee, but not for me. Hunter Biden, special treatment. Going after, all true. This is all true. It's not made up. Going after Catholics in traditional Roman Catholic churches, going after school board parents that want to speak at school boards, saying, the 51 or 2, whatever it was, intel officers that said there was no laptop, that it was fake, that it was a lie. Kind of reminds me of the issue we're talking about right now with the drones. And of course, we find out, there was a laptop, and all 50 plus former intel officers all lied. So right now, unfortunately, I won't even go into Russian collusion. I mean, I could go on and on. What happened with Facebook and the White House, all of it. It's justice for thee, but not for me. It's not fair. It's not America. It's so wrong, and we have to change this. I mean, that's why this election was so important, and quite frankly, future elections too. We're not going to get it all done in 4 years. There's so much. It's so sick. It's so bad. It's so unfair, and I'll leave you with this. A reporter came to me, a little while back. It was actually a few weeks ago, and said, "What's the one thing you regret politically?" And I knew they thought I was going to say, "Oh, when I became a Republican. Oh, I voted for this bill." Or "Oh," and I said, "You know what I regret?" Because it was a tricky reporter. I said, "I regret that every man and woman in America doesn't get to sit with me on the Judiciary Committee and hear what I hear and see what I see." For those that are concerned, they'd be a lot more concerned. And those that aren't concerned, they would become concerned.
Well put. Definitely well put. Shining moment here of what you're doing, particularly day 2. And I like how you talked about, it's bad enough to challenge this, have a civil debate, but the mockery part of this by people who have no room to mock anything is amazing. Any sense of timelines when this comes to a head? In other words, I'm saying this cannot go on, can it? For more weeks, just being stonewalled at this point?
No, I think, and you know what, Dom, that's another reason I did this. It was enough.
Yeah.
And I'll take a little heat for it. It's okay, because guess what? Real people, thousands of them emailing me, real people are grateful. And they're not all saying, "Gee, we think it's Iran too." They're just saying, "Thank God somebody's looking into it, trying to find out what's going on. It's a serious thing." So real people, not the insiders, not the political elite, not the bougie people, but the real people, they are thankful for what we're doing. And it's been going on for almost a month. I think the folks that don't want to do anything, or whatever they are doing, I don't get it, are going to have to get their act together. I know there's supposed to be a press briefing just about now going on in D.C. From the president's people. I don't know how much they'll touch on this or not. I hope they have the answers. I hope they have a game plan, and I hope they tell us what it is, and I'll shut up.
Gotcha.
Just act with it.
Well, we can't have that. Then we're going to have you come in and practice dentistry here. So other than that, we need Van Drew 24 hours a day here on the station. Congressman, thank you. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Boy, that was all-encompassing. Thanks to Dan's questions, too, with Jeff Van Drew. And I think he made some news here with this slow-ass response. And what he said before that, the mockery, and he doubled down on it now that they don't even know what this mothership stuff was. You're hearing stuff here that was new, right here, coming here to Talk Radio 1210. I'd love to get your reaction. To me, I'm impatient by nature, and that could be a flaw, but urgency is a good thing. There's no urgency here. I mean, how long are you just going to let this go on? And there's nobody even saying, well, I think we have the answer. We can do this. They're not even saying that. You can't be in these positions and act in the manner that we're seeing. Those two things don't work for me and probably not for you. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Tackle the NFL action on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view play-by-play, and so much more on the same page when you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win that first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/Dom. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
For eligible individuals 18 and older with self-perceived mild to moderate hearing loss only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
Life without hearing aids can be frustrating.
Andy, did you hear what she just said?
No, I'm sorry. What did I miss?
I said I got the promotion, Dad. I thought you would be excited.
You're missing out on the important moments of your life because you just can't hear them. It's time to try the Jabra Enhanced Select 500, our smallest, most advanced hearing aid. With proprietary speech clarity technology, even the most complex listening situations like a noisy restaurant are crisp and clear. And you can get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional care you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. Get Jabra Enhanced over-the-counter hearing aids and stop missing the important moments. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhanced.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhanced.com/radio. JabraEnhanced.com/radio.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. I can't recommend enough my friend and dentist, Dr. Mike Veneria at Veneria Dental. But I also want to share a little secret with you. You know, we're in the final stretch of 2024. As you know, you could possibly have dental insurance benefits expiring soon. Come January, most benefits reset. So if you've been putting off getting that dental procedure done, now is the time to schedule your appointment and use any remaining benefits for 2024. Dr. Mike's office will help you work through all of it, so just give them a call. Dr. Mike Veneria is the master of implant dentistry. His level of care and commitment to dental excellence is unmatched. And if you're nervous to go to the dentist, don't be. Dr. Mike and his staff makes your dental experience simple. He's been named a top dentist in New Jersey for 10 consecutive years. He's respected among his peers as being a master of dental implants. And yes, he's my family dentist. So stop putting off seeing a dentist or getting that complex dental procedure done, and don't waste those benefits. Taking care of your teeth is so important to your overall health. So call his office at 856-786-2020 or veneriadental.com. That's VANARIA, veneriadental.com.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
Weather sponsored by Joseph Anthony, Retreat, Spa, and Salon.
Weather sponsored by Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon. The secret of finishing your holiday shopping with 3 locations, Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City at the Lowe's Hotel. Visit in person or online at josephanthony.com where gift cards are available. That's josephanthony.com.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, that was as good as it gets with Congressman Jeff Van Drew on point on there versus the dope over at the Pentagon with the uptick in the mothership. What are you kidding me? We don't have any stinking mothership here. This is, and even President Trump, I know he's involved in a lot of things. You heard Van Drew. I just think from all corners, this is as outrageous as anything we've seen, that you just let this go on, but they know everybody's safe. It's not about safe. They're violating the law. Shoot them down. This is nonsensical. And guys like Murphy mocking that clown, that just outright clown. The people in New Jersey, oh yeah, I'm glad he mocked the motherships. Give us a break. No, suddenly in Jersey, everybody gets it, that one side is not serious, the Murphys of the world, etc., and the Van Drews are about what's happening, Dan.
No, I'm wondering, theorizing, what could be playing out here, though? Does Murphy know that it's a governmental operation, and that's why he just is so blasé about it?
Somebody told him it's no mothership, and he's mocking. That's what I think it is.
What it comes down to? Is he's just...
Yeah, he's flying by the seat of his hair, yeah.
Because I go back to the Reddit post I brought up, asked Van Drew about the Iran response and all that, and a lot of it is just instant reaction to assume that, oh, it's so wild because this guy supports Trump or because he's a Republican. Right. It's just, it's terrifying that we're to the point in society where half the country, or no, I don't want to say half the country, but a good chunk of the left is just doubting any claims made by anyone on the right when we have physical evidence above us, flying above us.
Right.
It's nuts. It's nuts that they just... there seems to be a push against finding any information on this. It reminds me of the start of COVID all over again.
Well, we have a nation that, as I look at it, if they told me, hey, you're going to special big thing, you're going to go to Yemen and broadcast a special broadcast. I'm not going to Yemen. It's like Stone Age in my mind. And yet, Dan, they have the sophistication of the drones through the Iranians to be tearing up the Straits of Bosporus and all that, blowing up ships all over the place. So it's definitely doable that they have this.
Is it possible they're aliens?
This is where I have to check my
well, the thing is, though, like if you ask Murphy that question and he's mocking an Iranian drone ship that there's news reports about that they're building this thing and that it has satellite imagery has shown it missing out of its port. But it seems like you're giving more credence to aliens if you're going to mock a potential theory of foreign adversaries out there.
Yeah, I mean, the alien thing, it doesn't seem to be that sophisticated. You know, they're not in SUVs or anything here and wanting to come over these spots in Jersey. And if it is somebody that has enough drones that are that sophisticated, where's the urgency to say, whoever is doing this, I'm going to get them? It's personal. Why doesn't anybody take anything personally anymore? With me, it's always personal. I can't lie, just business. No. It's personal, not on my watch. Where are those people? And what are we doing about it? And the answer appears to be, again, day 2, nothing. We're not doing anything about it. We're not moving forward. It's stunning. And people now are they getting normalized by it?
Like what I fear is that like the Murphy and whoever's in charge of the Pentagon going right now, they're hoping that this is just a story that these drones disappear, and I feel like we forget about it in 2 weeks. And like we know, like this is potential surveillance happening. Is this something that an adversary may now have on us? These need to be found out, and to squash the story is what I feel like a lot of.
Well, they're hoping it goes away, holidays here, et cetera. And Van Drew's out there now with more evidence. You heard what he said. That was, that other sources talking about this Iranian mothership had left port. Let's go to Scott in Mount Laurel, Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Scott, good afternoon.
Hey, Don, when Dan said something about it might be aliens, I'm waiting for the Democrats to say, see, your wall won't work.
Yeah, that's right.
But the thing with the drones is that, it's all the same pattern. So they're either completely incompetent or they're totally corrupt and lying. And of course they're mocking because that's how they cover up, what they don't really want to talk about. And, the January 6th thing is that, notice how they used, they didn't have undercover people. They had confidential people. Like they must have poll tested confidential, and somehow that sounds better
to your
people.
point, that's exactly what I'm thinking in the report. Why doesn't the Attorney General say the report define that? Now, I don't have the report in front of me yet, Scott. We'll see if they have a definition. But can you see Christopher Wray, just you and me sitting there, making him answer, what's the difference on that? We get a half hour out of this with this guy going back and forth. Who are these people? What are they?
And there's no doubt in my mind what they're trying to do with this January 6th thing, and it's not a coincidence that it's when Wray is resigning. They're trying to put out a narrative so that when the real truth comes out, they can say, that's old news. What are you bringing that up again? And they're trying to set a narrative in people's minds so that they don't have to answer for whatever they really did, which we probably only know the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, that's the best tactic. I've seen it all the time. They did it with Benghazi. They do it with things like that. It never gets answered. Then when we get the answer 2 years later, they say, why are you guys still beating on this?
Exactly. And one thing you mentioned the other day, I didn't get a chance to comment on, what Trump has to do if he wants to really be consequential is he has to structurally cut down the size of government and get these agencies under control. But it has to be structurally, because if he just does executive orders and stuff, it's just going to be reversed as soon as he leaves office, and it's not going to do any good.
And that's why I want to drill down. What's the mechanism to actually make the Department of Education go away? Those things. This is the getting down into the details. And I'm glad he's asking O'Reilly that. And I talked with O'Reilly, Scott, and I think O'Reilly's telling him the right things.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to, obviously a very hard job. I mean, what kind of clearance would you have to get or vote in Congress? Could you do it with a majority, or would they filibuster it, the Democrats, to not get rid of the Department of Education? Could you just not fund it? I mean, there's so many things. But then again, what would take care of it permanently versus even just temporarily? Now, maybe temporary would be good enough when people saw that the schools didn't get any worse, and then they'd be okay with getting rid of it later.
Yeah, exactly right. And these things are the nitty-gritty. So if Trump is dedicated to that, I think he can do it. If he gets distracted, that's their game. It's like we're in Afghanistan. They're fighting a 100-year war here in Congress. All right, what's your answer to the side, Scott, today?
Invader by Judas Priest.
All right, very good. That's an alien vote here. All right, we'll have more of your calls coming up. We got a lot of things here. We have the city, the committee of the whole, they call themselves, 12-4 vote. One was absent today, saying that, we want that stadium to be built, the Sixers stadium. As I told you, it's underway. It was in right from the very beginning. They'll formalize it next Thursday when I don't get it. They're a committee of the whole, and then they're a body next Thursday. What a bunch of all-time worst. We have that, and we have the IG report on January 6th. And you just heard Jeff Van Drew, we think, making some news here, advancing the story about what happens now, what has happened. This is fluid here. And we're going to talk to somebody else in Jersey, state senator whose district is there, at about 2:30. Why is nothing able to be done here? And night after night, the mockery of this goes on. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Hey, happy holidays to all. It's a perfect time to talk about Rescue Natural Supplements and their Deck the Hall sale. Right now, you can save up to 78% on exceptional natural supplements for every area of your health, from essentials like omega-3s and probiotics to cholesterol support, natural pain relief, and more. The best part, over a dozen health-boosting rescue products are marked down under $20. Get started. Stock up today. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com, res-q.com. With Rescue, you can reinforce your immune system, boost energy, and reach your health goals. Again, there's no code needed to save up to 78% site-wide. Get a head start on your health. Visit res-q.com. Do it today.
Your weeknights are getting a whole lot better. with Jimmy Fallon, 7 to 10 p.m.
Back when I was a cab driver, trying to make my way in comedy and find some entree into television and radio and everything in between, I was writing articles, mocking sports culture and cancel culture and things like that. And they had booked me an interview on WPHT. They were the very first radio station to ever book me as a guest. We had a lot of laughs. So to be sitting here, 8 or 9 years later as a host in your lineup is obviously a really big deal to me personally.
Jimmy Fallon, now weeknights, 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. Wherever I go, online security is a top priority for me. In my personal life, on the job, with the family. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. I do feel so secure and worry-free thanks to Privacy Pro's 3-in-1 subscription service. DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. So it helps protect your personal info from being exploited by those hackers, scammers, or privacy-invasive companies. I discovered DuckDuckGo years ago. It's an independent browser search engine, and millions use it. DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro provides me with a VPN, secure encrypted Wi-Fi connection, which I trust. I love that the DuckDuckGo VPN works on browsers and apps across mobile and desktop, up to 5 devices at once. Get a 30-day free trial at duckduckgo.com/1210. Then you pay $9.99 a month. Do this, duckduckgo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone. 800-411-2215. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debt settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pensions seized. Call now. Call 800-411-2215. That's 800-411-2215. 800-411-2215.
Free speech lives here. With Dom Giordano, weekdays noon till 3 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's stand time.
I can handle things. I'm smart. I'm like everybody says.
We're going to step aside in a second, but just a quick update on our ongoing 2024 Dom Show Caller of the Year contest. Happening now at Dom Show 1210 on Twitter. Second round matchup between Robert and Ben Salem, Gary and Newtown. Happening now. Robert and Ben Salem, Dom, 75% of the vote over Gary and Newtown, 25% head over again at Dom Show 1210 to cast your vote in the second round of the 2024 Caller of the Year contest.
All right, that's a big-time matchup. A little bit surprised by those numbers. Thought it would be close. Let's see if there's a comeback, though, before the end of the show. The Newtownians have to get in there for Gary. Get that Newtown bypass going. Let's go to Gary in Newtown. Hey, Gary, afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dom. I love listening to Jeff Van Drew. He's amazing.
Oh, he is in the center of this. And by the way, the haberdashery is the most copied. Off air, I've been asking him, where did he get that blue tie yesterday? I have one like it, but this is more resplendent, that tie yesterday.
I'm looking forward to meeting him. I've got a special scotch that I hope he likes.
Okay. Johnny down at Mulligan's already. We're going to need a bigger place this summer for the stuff that's going to go on there.
Can I give you my 2024 bona fides, if you don't mind?
Sure.
So number one, you got to meet my wife at Mulligan's. Number
That's right.
two, I got to meet your wife at Don Jr.'s event in the VIP
Right.
lounge. Number
Right.
three, I was at McDonald's with the rest of the 10,000 people with Trump. Number four, I was at the Vance thing at the NAC. Number five, I was at the NAC with yours. And the coup de grace would be that I called your show, you called Jim Worthington. Jim Worthington called Judge Trauger, and we got 283 votes to win Lower Bucks County for Trump.
All right, that's pretty big. But wait a minute, Robert of Ben Salem is there. Hey, Robert, before we get you in here, you heard Gary of Newtown. What do you have to say to that?
Nothing. I think he's making a good point, and I'm going to stick by what I said, where that the people that are new to what we did in 2024 that weren't there in 2020 were the reason we won. And they inspired things like what Gary's talking about. I think that we were engaged this time,
Yes.
and that's why we won.
Hold on. You can't, this is a competition, a contest, a fight we're having here. You can't endorse your competition.
All right, wait a minute. Get that Oppo research out on these guys. The opposition oh, my God. Did Gary of Newtown
I think Robert's just feeling a bit guilty because he's up 75-25 right now. He's trying to swing some votes
we're going to make
Gary's
this
way.
close. Let's get in there for Gary. We need a close race here. I'm not taking sides, but I want it to be close.
Let me.
Okay.
Can I close with this? I'd like to close with this. I'm not a big caller. I'm a big doer, too.
We love it. All right. Gary, what's your side question answer today?
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
that's a good one, man.
Great call. Great call. Thank you, Gary. Oh, my God. All right.
Thank you, guys. Good luck, Robert. Good luck.
Yeah. Robert, what do you have today after that, guys?
Am I on?
Yes, Robert.
Oh, okay. I really can't say anything that's going to overdo what Gary just did, so I'll just get right to my side question. I am going to go with 99 Red Balloons by the German rock group Nina, and I think it's relevant because you have to hope that a war doesn't start over something that might turn out to be innocuous. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. That is a great answer as always. Thank you, Robert, the master there. Not taking sides though. Dan, that was great stuff. What is it with all these people? They're too nice. Let's have Dan. Let's have Dan. You pit Henry and I against something here and see what happens. Oh man, there'll be hatchets thrown.
It's
here.
because they've all met each other and shaking hands. They're all
they'll
buddies now.
They're
they
all
don't want to beat
buddies.
each other.
If you're just tuning in today, yesterday we revealed that prior to facing off today, Robert and Gary took it upon themselves to go have breakfast together. What is this?
You think we put a $5,000 prize up there or something like that?
Oh, then it get a little nasty.
Then we'll see some dirty stuff here. These guys belong in Washington, patting each other on the back here, both parties here. All right, coming up, we're going to talk with Linda Mitchell from the NAC, the Newtown Athletic Center, and she has something that is going to revolutionize Bucks County, the center of the universe. They're opening up a local pack dedicated to Bucks County. It's getting a lot of attention this morning. We're on it first here. And we'll talk also with State Senator Doug Steinhardt. His district is the district affected by this. What do his people want to do? Do they want to shoot it down, or do they think, this is kind of fun? All straight ahead, and Dom's Money Melody, big 2 o'clock hour.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
The secret to savings is out. One place, 2 words.
More money!
Starting at just $3.99, you can find something for everyone in your family and on your list. Make it easy for yourself. Grab gifts that are already in a box. If you're looking for serious savings and style, grab Adidas, Champion, Puma, Reebok, Converse. The list goes on and on. Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10.
More money!
You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
In Virginia Beach, our locals live the life every day. The art of living the life starts by connecting with what matters most. Happiness. When you visit, you will realize that happiness is a real place and that it is here in Virginia Beach.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty, that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Big guest, I kind of forgot. Big issues, big guest. I'm still blown away by the stuff Jeff Andrew was saying, but we have something here locally that is a genius idea that I'm told might start to be copied by other people in the suburbs. Jim Worthington over at the Newtown Athletics Center. We love going there, love the stuff he did during the campaign. But his chief person, his executive, if you will, who organizes all this and gets his stuff going, is now launching something today that I am really enthusiastic about what it can do in the suburbs. Linda Mitchell joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Linda, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Dom. Thank you for having me.
Well, tell us what the latest brainstorm is with this PAC.
Okay. I am so excited to tell you, and thanks for bringing me on to share this. At noon today, I formally announced the formation of a new initiative entitled Bucks County Votes. Now, that is an organization designed to maximize voter participation in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. This group is designed to be ongoing and will continue its mission for the foreseeable future. We will be concentrating on getting out the vote, getting people to register, getting people to increase mail-in applications, getting people to increase mail-in voting and early mail-in voting, as well as in-person voting, and finally, to educate the voter on election process and the offices running for election, and to vote, the importance of voting each and every year. So let me just back up and mention a quote that I found over the past year that I really love that kind of says it all. And this quote comes from Thomas Jefferson. He said, quote, "We do not have government by the majority. We have government by the majority who participate," unquote. And when I first read that quote, I thought, what? We do have government by the majority. But in fact, if you don't participate, then you cannot be part of the government process. And that means voting. That's how important voting is. This past cycle, I had the pleasure and the honor of working within the Trump campaign. I kind of went into the belly of the beast and volunteered my time, and I helped them manage their campaign, not only here in Bucks County, but throughout the state. As you know, Bucks County was the state headquarters for the Trump campaign. And their office was up here in Newtown, right around the corner from where I work every day at the Newtown Athletic Club. And I got to see what they did this time around, what they did good and what they didn't do well. For the most part, they did things very well. And, of course, we know the outcome was hugely successful. However, I learned a lot from that. And also, I got to know a lot of people in Bucks County who are really, really passionate about participating in government, participating in grassroots activities. Jim and I have worked together for years we worked together for years in the health club industry, actually over 40 years. So that's decades. But over the last 8 to 10 years, I've also partnered with Jim to work in the political space. And we have been able to cultivate a strong following here in Bucks County. And I'm going to have to say at this point now, Jim has cultivated a following probably across the country for all the good things that he's done for our president, et cetera. But we have literally thousands of volunteers who are ready to go, who are on our listserv, and that we reach out to on a regular basis. So just to tell you, I announced this via email to about 5,000 people 2 hours ago. I already had 500 people open the email and over 120 people sign up to be part of Bucks County Votes.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's just the beginning. You know that people are excited. So there's so many things I want to say, but I do want to get to your questions. So I'll pause for a moment.
So look, we know that in Bucks County, there is a DA's race coming up. The reason I'm so excited about this, I know you and Jim, and I've seen what you've done on national levels, and everybody gets excited about that, the presidential race. But you and I know, and we've talked about, and Jim knows this, we saw during COVID, you can win the presidential race. You can win all kinds of offices. Local school boards, though, if they go a different way, it's pretty hard to do too much to push back. A DA in a swing county like Bucks County is critical. They set the tone for whether the law is going to be followed or not. We saw the Bucks County commissioners, one in particular, and then the other back her, say and make international news, I'm not going to follow the law. I want the courts to see this. So these races for commissioner, row offices, DAs in the suburbs, and once you get people voting every cycle, every time around, not just for the presidential race, we are going to see the quality of life change.
Yes, I could not agree more. And let me just tell you a quick story about that. We had lots of door knockers this last cycle in the Trump campaign, and they would come back to me and say, Linda, I'm knocking on doors all day. I think your data is not good. And I would say, what makes you say that? Well, Linda, you told me that you were sending me to knock on doors of low propensity voters, people who don't very often. And I would say, sir, I noticed that you don't very often. And he would say, oh, I vote every election, when he only really votes once every 4 years.
Right, exactly. And again, the habit of doing this, and again, we all get the sexiness, the excitement of this last election, and all the years I've been doing it, it was the most intense, the most exciting. But the day-to-day type of stuff that goes on, and the suburbs have become much like the city, or they're edging toward that. Linda, the other exciting thing for listeners is you've already heard from people in places like Montgomery County and others. You guys will be the blueprint, and hopefully they will start to do the same thing in each of the suburban counties.
Absolutely. That's our vision. You know, you always start somewhere. So you start small, or you start being very focused, but our vision is to do exactly that. And I think it's going to happen more quickly than we even imagine. When I was working with the Trump campaign at the state office, which was here in Bucks County, we worked closely with all the collar counties as well as Philadelphia County. So we already have relationships with those people who were in the campaign, who ran it, and also the people who were the volunteers. And let me tell you something. This is different than I've seen a lot of elections because I've been around a while. And this election was the most passionate, the most exciting, and people were the most dedicated. And that did not stop when the election was over. People are beginning to wake up and realize exactly what you and I are saying, that now that we've gained this momentum, as it were, we cannot stop. And so they would say to us, what's next? What are we doing next?
Excellent. That's exactly. Well, that's it. And I know this DA's race could be very, very consequential out there in Bucks County as an example. But school boards, other races, year after year after year. And I love what you said. I'm going to be using that. The guy said, well, I do vote all the time. You know, even somebody engaged thinks that voting in the presidential election, that's voting. You have a lot more power to vote in the local elections is one way of looking at it, particularly school boards and the like, and encouraging other people. You get 30 or 40 people that are active, encouraging 10 people each in a school board race, things of that nature. You can push the envelope. So, Linda, where do people go now to get information on this?
Okay. They can email me directly at, and this is really easy, Linda, Linda, at buckscountyvotes.com. And there will be a website very soon, within the next couple of weeks, but immediately shoot me an email, Linda at buckscountyvotes.com. And let me just go back to your point, and thank you for asking that, by the way. When you're voting in a local election, people say, oh, my vote doesn't count. In a local election, it actually counts more, because those elections can be won or lost on single-digit numbers, 4, 5, 6, 7 votes. I've seen it happen. So you can't tell me your vote doesn't count in the local election. So we're going to educate people. We're going to get people to understand what their choices are, and we are going to continue the momentum and drive our numbers up.
Oh, absolutely, Linda. Look, Dan is a great executive producer, second to none, but Jim has one that's superlative, and I look for this in you, and you now moving into this full-time, I've been told. That is quite a model. And if people email you again, Linda, then you'll be in touch with them, telling them about some of the things they can do and getting them into your loop at buckscountyvotes.org.
.com.
Oh, .com. I'm sorry. buckscountyvotes.com. buckscountyvotes.com at buckscountyvotes.com. Linda at buckscountyvotes.com. Linda, keep us in the loop with developments, events. If you're going to do an event, something of that, we'd like to participate.
Oh, yes.
We'd like to help you.
We have a surprise coming up in January, so stay tuned. So if you email me, I'll get you on my list, and you will be in the know, as they say.
All righty. Thank you, Linda, very much. Glad you're doing this.
Thank you, Don. A pleasure.
All right. Linda Mitchell here. And look, hopefully this spreads. We've got to take back the suburbs here day to day. It's the biggest story in the years I've been doing talk radio, how this has changed, where it's gone. And I think there's a sense out in Bucks County, they don't want to have a Larry Krasner type of lawyer someday, something like that, in one of these elections take over. That's one race. But you have the school board, you have all these row offices, you have constant elections. And right now, spirit is high. Now's the time that Republicans should strike. So that Linda, that's Linda at buckscountyvotes.com. We'll see what they have in line in January and let you know about that as soon as possible to get people out. All right, we have a lot going on. I still haven't gotten to the ladies on The View attacking RFK Jr. for fat-shaming them, at least according to Whoopi and Ozempic. He better get them injecting that or there's going to be big trouble with the ladies on The View. How about Botox? You know, do they need Botox too? Is that going to be a national trend? But right now, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
That's right. Today we're playing for a pair of tickets to see Styx and Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon, plus Dan Felder at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. That's on August 8, 2025. For tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com.
Don, today we're doing another cover song, this time relating to a song that relates to what we're seeing up in the skies. That's our side question. And today's cover artist, Dom, comes from a somewhat local individual hailing from Milford, Pennsylvania. She really blasted to fame in the early 2000s with an individual song that kind of died out in popularity, but then got a whole second life when it was covered in a cult comedy classic about cross-dressers. So, Dom, we want to know who this singer is here covering this song, who really had a very strong hit that kind of died off the popularity and then became a hit again after it was covered in a cult comedy about cross-dressers. Dom, take a listen. Maybe not a great song that relates to what's happening, but why not throw it out there, Don? We want to know who the cover artist is today.
I'd like to hear it better done, the Do You See What I See? I love that line if it's done dramatically enough. I'm not sure this cover.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
But I think her whole persona, the reason why she was mocked, I think, to a degree, is because her music is blasé and boring, you know? So.
Well, that's a good formula for success. All right. Who is that?
Music videos all time, too.
Yeah, okay. Hit us with that, and we will send you off to the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. All you need to do is just push pound 1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Phil Almquist giving the Kale and Company flag to Jeremy. He's the recipient for the week.
You promise you'll fly it on your truck and you'll return it next week.
100%. Okay. All right.
You have other people in the hopper stocker, so to speak, or how can people
I do, yeah.
request the flag?
Probably won't be till January until you can do it, but we have other people. If you want to fly the flag high on your truck or house or whatever, you have to display it. It can't sit in the back of your truck like it did for Kale. Send me an email, greg.stocker@odyssey.com.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
The most important part of your financial future is the firm you choose. You see, all financial firms are not the same. Traditional firms that sell securities can't guarantee income and are vulnerable to bankruptcies, market losses, capital gains taxes, and ongoing fees. But the exclusive crash-proof retirement system continues to protect over 5,000 clients from market losses and bankruptcies and provides guaranteed tax-favored income with the potential for double-digit interest returns with no fees whatsoever. Our one-of-a-kind proprietary system continues to protect billions of dollars in assets. Are you in or near retirement? There's only one crash-proof retirement for the American retiree. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the Copperfield Inn on January 22nd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Upgrade your bathroom with Emmons Remodeling.
We offer custom design, build, renovation services to fit your style and budget. Our designers work closely with you to create the perfect space for you and your family.
Experience luxury and functionality with the expert team at Emmons.
So call us at 856-885-6677. Again, that's 856-885-6677, or visit us at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
It's officially the merry season, and B101, Philly's official Christmas station, is your home for holiday music. Spinning the biggest and best festive tracks all day long, now through Christmas Day. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Get your holiday fix on the radio at 101.1 FM. Ask your smart speaker to play B101 Philly, or listen on the go with the free Odyssey app.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money. All right, that's exactly right. Another cover today, apropos maybe of what we're talking about in the skies over Jersey. Let's hear the clue.
Do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb. Do you see what I see?
All right, let's go to Gary in Springfield on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Gary, good afternoon. All right, who's covering this?
Good afternoon, Dom. Is it Vanessa Carlton?
Wow, that's such a random upset. How did you know that, Gary?
Milford, Pennsylvania, the clue.
Oh, wow. I did not
okay.
expect that clue to be the
Milford.
winner.
Where is Milford?
It's upstate. It's near Delaware Gap, I think. It's
Okay.
beautiful area.
All right, I'll put you on hold, Gary. When people say upstate in Pennsylvania, I always think of Deer Hunter or something. Yeah.
I really thought the clue that'd sell it was the one that is from a cult comedy classic about cross-dressing, Dom. It's from a very famous scene where Terry Crews covers Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles in White Chicks, Dom.
How did you know? I love this song. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, and I'm homebound.
Everyone knows that song by Vanessa Carlton, but there you have Vanessa Carlton covering Do You Hear What I Hear? Congratulations, and enjoy a concert of actual good music, unlike Vanessa Carlton's.
All right, the ladies on The View want some, don't want to have less body to cover, apparently. They are attacking RFK Jr., who might crack down, they believe, on a Ozempic hint. Henry, let's play the cut of Whoopi talking about some people are just born big. Here's what they said.
This is my fault. Give me 1 sec, Dom.
Yeah, okay, whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
No, 1 sec.
Okay.
Here it is. I got to turn off the music first. We're doing a quick switch here, and here we go.
This isn't just about food.
No, it's not.
This is sometimes people are born genetically larger.
Agreed. I didn't mean to cut
No, I know you didn't. But I want to say this to
RFK.
That's his name. Because you're setting folks up for shame.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying. Maybe you don't know you're doing. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say you don't know, you don't realize what you do to people when you say stuff like that, because it doesn't work for everybody. And I'm going to show you, sir, because I weighed close to 300 less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And without the Mounjaro, this would not have happened.
There you go. Take it off. Take it off.
Unbelievable. Have they reached a new low? Is there no bottom here? So RFK Jr., shut up. I was 300. I'm going to be gobbling these during. Why don't they inject them around the clock during the show? My God. What's the other one, Dan?
What a ridiculous notion that is. Huh?
Yeah.
I also have
Sonny.
I have Sonny Hostin. Yeah. Here is Sonny. Take a listen here. Gosh, why is my computer? I'm sorry, my computer's moving so slow, Dom. Here she is.
Healthcare insurance issue. One thing that I was just reading is that Medicare is not allowed to cover medications used for weight loss alone. When are we going to start taking care of people in our society that are older, that have given in to this?
You rarely see a really fat old person. You know why? Because they die. That is the fact.
Well, the other thing
they die because they're overweight.
Because they're overweight. The other thing.
It's true. They have heart attacks.
And then the other.
All the diseases.
But the one last thing I'll say is.
You're not overweight, Whoopi.
One of the one last things that I'll say is that Wegovy is covered for obesity by Medicare, but only if the patient already has cardiovascular disease.
Yeah.
Well, so in addition this does not make any sense.
Not making any sense. They are just a rogues gallery. Can you imagine Kennedy Jr. going on there? Dan, I'm thinking out of the Trump nominees. Kash Patel going on there. Oh, my God. Pete Hegseth. Pam Bondi.
We'll never get it.
Now, that would be a brawl. Pam Bondi goes on there and has to deal with this. Dr. Oz. My God. There is no bottom. There is no bottom. Let's go to the Earl of Tacony on Talk Radio 1210. Coming up, we're going to talk with State Senator Douglas Steinhardt, who I think part of his district, I know he's intimately involved in the Jersey thing about the drones. He'll be here at 2:30. But, hey, Earl, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dov. You were talking earlier about the stadium, and, I'm a student of history, and there are just so many projects that the city just is not capable of doing. I mean, there are some successes. I mean, there is Independence Mall for the tourism. If you go down there and you see it's all open and green space there now. In 1942, that whole area was all warehouses and industrial. And between 42 and 62, they tore all that down and opened all that up. If you go down to the Philadelphia Historical Commission, you'll see the pictures they have on the wall of what that area used to look like before, and it's completely different from what it looks like now. The only reason we have a sports complex is the sports complex is built on the city dump. The municipal dump used to be down at the end of the Broad Street line. There's land that was available, and they were able to work with it. But there are so many different things that the city has tried for decades to try and get done and hasn't been able to get done. I mentioned yesterday the Chestnut Hill subway line. They weren't able to do. The Pulaski Highway, supposed to run from the Betsy Ross Bridge down to Roosevelt Boulevard and possibly beyond. And if anybody lived in Port Richmond in the 80s and 90s, you had all of those ramps that went to nowhere where they designed it. They tried to get it done, but they just couldn't get it to work. Look at Woodhaven Road between 95 and the Boulevard. That was supposed to go to the Turnpike. But, you have an 8-lane highway that ends at a 2-lane Evans Street, because they designed it, they tried to get it to go through, and the city just couldn't pull the trigger and get things to work. Now, like you're saying with down to the sports complex, a lot of it has to do with money. Anybody that grew up in the South Philly area knows that Delaware Avenue was a death trap. You could drive down Delaware Avenue, and you could actually lose your car in a pothole. Nobody wanted to drive down Delaware Avenue because no one would fix it. All the railroad tracks were there. They said that it was the railroad.
So, Earl, your point is we have to depend on the sports franchises to do this?
No, but it's the money that's pushing it, because Delaware Avenue, the railroad said that it was the city problem. It was the city street. City said it was a state road. State road said it was the federal road, and the federal government said it was the railroads. And the only reason they fixed up Delaware Avenue was because of the gentrification and all of the real estate developers wanting to build down there.
Here's the thing, though, Earl, here's the point. Then we got to stop calling it gentrification and attacking it. The current head of city council is the guy that said you can't have balconies, you can't have bay windows, you can't have other things like that. It's gentrification in homes, and yet he's the one shoving this through.
Because there's money involved. It's not because it's practical. Delaware Avenue was practical, but the sports complex down in Chinatown, in my opinion, is not practical. It's because certain moneyed interests are going to make out like a bandit if they go and they get that down there. And I see that as the only reason why, because logistically, as you've been saying, it is not a very good idea.
Okay.
It lacks logistics.
Earl, I agree with you. Earl, what's your song for today?
My song is Alan Parsons' project, Eye in the Sky. I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind, and I don't need to see any more to know that I can read your mind. And the third verse is just as bad. Don't leave false illusions behind. Don't cry, I ain't changing my mind. So find another fool like before, because I ain't going to live anymore believing some of the lies while all of the signs are deceiving.
Thank you, Earl. Great choice. Coming up, State Senator Doug Steinhardt. I think his district is part of this. Well, most of Jersey is right now, of the drones. What's the development today? What does he want done? We heard from Jeff Andrew making a lot of news by what he said here and all over the place today. Hey, tackle the NFL action on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you can place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/Dom. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cold overnight, down to around 25 or even lower in the suburbs. Friday, 37 the high, mostly sunny. Saturday, about the same. Sunday, 44, some clouds will roll in. By Monday, we'll start seeing some more rain with a high of 53, even almost 60 by Tuesday.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is Larry Steinhardt with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhardt with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
It's Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Westchester University and Pittman, New Jersey in February.
Alan Iverson, Joel and Bean.
My dad set this up. This was actually a Christmas gift to bring us all together, come see Joe and relive all the Philadelphia history. It's amazing.
That's Conklin with City Rhythm and the story of Philly sports through music. Westchester University on February 21st and the Broadway Theater in Pittman, New Jersey on February 22nd. Tickets to a Conklin show make great holiday gifts. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
Turn off the financial news and turn on a great retirement. Find out how with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, you got the side question today. Sadly, our next guest has to live with this, and I can imagine his constituents, what they're doing in New Jersey. State Senator Douglas Steinhardt back with us on the Dom Giordano Show. Senator, welcome back. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the invitation. I do appreciate it.
Well, tell me where we heard from Jeff Andrew again today, talking about some of the evidence that sources in the media, Politico, Business Insider, talking about this Iranian mothership. What is Douglas Steinhardt hearing from your constituents? What do they want?
Oh, I think they want what the rest of the American people want. They want answers, and we're not getting any. I just got done watching Admiral Kirby give a White House press briefing and, tell the American people that there's no evidence of a foreign nexus. There's no evidence of a national security threat, that they can't corroborate any visual sightings. He's blaming manned aircraft and claiming that there's no drone sightings in any restricted airspace. I don't want to be one of these people, but I walked out on my front porch Sunday night and watched at least a dozen of these things flying around. I live on a mountainside, so flying around the mountain valley out in front of me, which covers, western Pennsylvania, southern Warren County, northern Hunterdon County, up into the mountains in Warren County. So they were all over the place. It's insulting to me as an American that Kirby says that you have questions. Well, we have questions. You have concerns. We have concerns. We're still investigating, but it's not a threat. The notions can't be reconciled. If it's not drones but manned aircraft They don't go dark when the New Jersey State Police approaches them in aircrafts. They don't avoid detection when the New Jersey State Police tries to follow them. At least not commercial ones, not friendly ones, and not non-U.S. military ones. It makes no sense to me. It's what I've said from the beginning. It's the question of answers or explanations. If they're ours, then the American people are owed explanations. If they belong to a foreign enemy, then the American people deserve action. And what did come from the press conference yesterday is that the confirmation that the skies and the control over the skies is a federal matter, and therefore this drone mess, in my opinion, rests solely in the lap of the Biden administration, and they've been weak and feckless in response to it, just they have to the border crisis, to the economy, and now in the face of this drone crisis. They're providing no answers, they're taking no action, and they're laying the responsibility in the hands of the American people, and I think it's disgusting.
It is. But you are at the state level, and you're a force there, and we've had on other people, too. So what is it you think you and your colleagues can do at this point?
Well, look, I think we can do what we're doing now, continue to beat the drum, ask questions, demand answers, call on our representative government in Washington to do more. I'll say this, January 20 can't come fast enough. We can't usher Joe Biden out the door soon enough and get President Trump back in so that we have somebody there that takes action and demands accountability. I mean, this from day one has, from my perspective, been about transparency and accountability. Again, whether they're American assets or they're foreign assets, it's about answers and accountability. And the Biden administration has shirked both for 4 years. It's why he's been shown the door. And it's why I said a few seconds ago, January 20 can't come fast enough. We can do our part in the state legislature, and regulate what we can. We can give the state police the resources that they need to do their jobs. We can continue to encourage local law enforcement and all of New Jersey's 9 million residents to continue to report what they see so that intelligence can be gathered. But don't insult my intelligence by telling me I don't see what I see. Don't insult the intelligence of the other 9 million New Jerseyans, telling them they don't see what they see. And certainly don't insult our intelligence and tell us that if you can't track them, you can't see them, you can't follow them, they don't emit a signal, we don't know whether they carry a payload, that we don't know if they're manned or unmanned. And when the New Jersey State Police approaches them, they run away, that's okay, that's no threat, and there's nothing to see here. To me, that means we have no idea what we're dealing with, or at least we have a federal government that's not willing to be honest with us.
And to your last point, that's true. It's either one, they're not honest with us, or we don't have the protocols here. You would think there would have to be, with all the money spent, et cetera, some mechanism in a situation like this of coming up with a determination about what to do. We don't even have that.
Well, and look, that was one of the revelations that came out of the briefing yesterday. And, I was one of the legislators that wrote to Governor Murphy over the weekend demanding that we have that briefing, and I'm glad that we did. And let me say this, because I'll be remiss if I don't. Kudos to Colonel Callahan and the New Jersey State Police. Kudos to all of the local law enforcement who are fielding these reports, fielding these sightings, taking information, doing their best to try to protect their communities, and at the same time being stonewalled by the federal government in terms of information coming back to them. Meanwhile, they continue to put themselves at risk and our assets at risk. But to your point, I think that part of the problem that we have is that these are federal regulations. The PETA, the Preventing Emerging Threats Act, which dates back to 2018 and is part of the overarching FAA Reorganization Act, like the funding for it is set to expire on December 20th. That's the singular act that gives the federal government the authority to engage drones and to detect them, to deter them, to dismantle them, to destroy them when necessary, and it came out in the hearing yesterday, the briefing yesterday, that listening to the representatives from Department of Homeland Security, that the agency and the staff whose job it is to do that work is woefully underfunded. We lack the technology, we lack the sophistication to do the type of work that I think we need to do to, one, give answers, or two, to provide for a proper defense. Either way, as I said earlier, it is a federal failure of monumental magnitude, even if it's from sharing information. But regardless, I'm pointing my finger to Washington, but I'm going to do what I can in Trenton.
Got you. How do you feel after this surge we're seeing during the election, President Trump, and now going forward the governor's race?
Yeah, look, I think they're great. There are great tailwinds for us. I think people are finally fed up with a lot of this woke, leftist stuff that has been dominating the press for so long. You can't take that stuff to the grocery store. You can't spend it at the gas station. It doesn't pay your heating bill. It doesn't keep the lights on. And it certainly doesn't buy you a job, get you a job. So, people are finally, I think, beginning to realize that we need stronger leadership. We need somebody who's going to focus on the economy, who's going to focus on our national interests, both here and abroad. I don't think you get the trifecta of wins that the Republican Party did. So winning the White House, winning the Congress, winning the Senate, without a recognition that the Democratic message is broken and the Republican Party is doing a great job. I think that carries into 2025. We just have to not lose sight of all that, keep our eye on the ball, make sure we stay on message, continue to field strong candidates. And the single most important thing is we got to vote. We're a party that tends to have a section of it that only comes out and votes in presidential elections. And you've seen what those results are statewide. We need to make sure that we engage those same folks and remind them that the same effect that they had in the national election, they can have here in New Jersey if they get to the polls.
Exactly. Do you endorse during the primary, or do you wait and then support the nominee?
Look, everything's kind of weird at the moment because of the line litigation, and that's had some impact on all these county parties. At the moment, I can tell you, my county organization, we're just kind of sitting back. It's Christmas time. We're going to enjoy the holiday. We're going to get to the new year. We're going to go out and celebrate President Trump's inauguration, and then we'll come back and set our task to look into 2025. But it's a crowded field on both sides. But whoever our nominee is come June, I am quite confident that the Warren County Republican Committee will be all in behind him or her, and we will do our best to help push that person over the finish line in November.
State Senator, have a great holiday, and thank you very much. Thanks for coming on. Keep us in the loop. Any developments, we want to hear from you.
It's always wonderful to speak with you, Don. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year.
Thank you very much. Douglas Steinhardt here on Talk Radio 1210. So we have the lightning round coming up next. By the way, just saw Robert Kennedy, as I said many times, if he gets through, he's going to have the most impact of anybody of these cabinet members. The FDA today, Fox running stories, going after these ultra-processed foods. There's going to be a battle over that. Huge battle. All right, lightning round next. And, Dan, do you have any update on the caller thing or no? Here, how we're doing the car? Because we only have, 16 minutes left to vote.
Yeah, pulling it up now.
Yeah, so it's Robert of Bensalem against Gary of Newtown.
Yes. And Dom, here it is. We got 62.5% for Robert and Bensalem.
Oh, tightening.
37.5% for Gary and Newtown.
All right, tightening. You have about 16 minutes to vote, and then we'll announce in a moment the next in our caller of the year. We're starting to get into the real competition where it'll get fierce. They won't be playing niceties on this. Tightening up here a bit. Go to at Dom Show 1210, at Dom Show 1210. You can vote right now. Let me tell you about Dr. Bentz. I've told and sent so many people to Dr. Bentz because this is a service or a product, if you will, that I use, and that's great dentistry. That's what you get. Up and down the line of about 10 years I've been going to Dr. Bentz. You'll see what I mean. And right from the very beginning, I've told you, he was on the cutting edge that far back with technology. Not just the 3D printer that we talk about. He's got this guy, John, who's an artisan who really makes your teeth along with the 3D printer, which allows them to check it out constantly. It doesn't go outside the building. They do it right there. The consistency of that. But just as important, I would argue even more so, it's the technology that deals with diagnosing. Because Dr. Bentz recently discovered something really serious with a patient that other dentists, et cetera, had missed. He is very, very much into that, and then he conveys it to you, what we're seeing, what images we're seeing, and what they're about, and long-term, what you can expect. You don't get that with the average dentist. They may even be very skilled, et cetera, but not this ability to diagnose in this manner. You'll see the Bentz difference. I tell you about it all the time, particularly maybe if you have concerns about the dentist, you get nervous, whatever it might be. They're going to reassure you. They're going to help you with that. We've done that with countless numbers of people. All you have to do is set that initial appointment. You know, even if you're not going to do it before the holidays, set it for do it now. You call them right now, the Bentz Dental Group, solutions for the most complex dental cases. Other dentists send people there routinely. Call 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com. Bentz Dental Group, say it with a smile. Call that number now, 610-272-6949.
The story about artificial Christmas trees being more eco-friendly, I'm a big believer in getting them real. I don't know how you gentlemen feel about this, but I am a big believer in getting real Christmas trees because they help the family farms. Kirk has a real tree. Good for you, Kirk. I'm glad to hear that. You support the family farmers, Kirk?
No.
You know, you said you have a real tree. That means you do support the family farmers.
Yeah, sorry.
Kirk's like, I have a real tree. I'm helping out. You support the farmers? No, F those guys.
Yes, I do.
Rick Zioli, weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Honey, bags are packed and in the trunk. Is the car good to drive to Mother's holiday dinner?
Yes, dear. Car's good. We have Ox Car Care for their extended car service plan. Ox covers our repair bills if anything happens. We have no worries if any problems come up on our holiday travels. Ox Car Care has our back.
I remember. Ox has flexible coverage plans that can protect issues with engine, transmission, brake systems, and so much more.
Yep, we don't pay. Ox pays. Ox gets it fixed for us. Joe at the auto shop says Ox Car Care pays them directly, and there's no complicated paperwork. Ox is A+ rated, with already millions of dollars paid out in claims.
Right. They handled our claim from start to finish, unlike those other companies. Good call. The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill this holiday. The only thing now is, which pie is Aunt Martha making?
Drive with absolute peace of mind this holiday season. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-458-0279. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox today. 800-458-0279. 800-458-0279 or oxcarcare.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
First time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, if you missed the developments today with Jeff Van Drew, that'll be up on the station Twitter, my Twitter at Dom Show 1210. I didn't hear that, Dan. Oh, Cherry Hill. Oh, that's right. Yes. Got caught up in my own Jeff Van Drew-isms. Lightning Round, sponsored every day by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, at least, the all-new all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. Let's go to Joe in Exton, Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, good afternoon. What might you have today?
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon. My song, Evocative of the Sky, is by Frank Sinatra. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what life is like on Jupiter and Mars.
The voice.
Wow.
The guru and the voice here.
That's a first.
Beautiful. He's cementing in his role as caller of the year potential coming up in a big match.
Tune in tomorrow. Joe's got Bill of Bucks. He's going to be taking them on during the show. You can cast your vote for Joe of Exton tomorrow in our caller of the year contest.
And what do we have right after 3 o'clock? Who's up
Yeah,
today?
we got a big one. Bruce in the Northeast takes on Coach Scott from Mount Laurel, Dom.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be a tight
I'm
one.
a little bit down on Scott now, defending the process yesterday. I may have to, usually I think he's right up there, but that was a weak
I think
moment.
with his strong calls lately, this will be a
Oh,
close
yes. He's going to be calling around the clock. Get those call numbers up here. Let's go to Bill in Montco. All right, Bill, what's your song today, Bill?
Yeah. This goes back to the mid-'60s, Barry McGuire, Eve of Destruction, and it starts out by saying the Eastern world, it is exploding. And I think that's what we're seeing right now, and maybe the drones have something to do with that.
Gotcha, Bill. Thank you. I thought we were coming into a golden era, and here now, these stupid drones. It's hard for me to even do the show, though, because I couldn't sit there if I'm a state legislator. Somebody's got to say, shoot one of these down. That's it. We don't care what Biden does and all. No, we're not putting up with this every night, dancing around here with this. Valerie on Talk Radio 1210 in Philadelphia. Hey, Val, what's your song?
Starman by David Bowie.
Bowie song in here. All right, that certainly fits. Drew in Upper Darby. Hey, Drew.
Hey, Dom, thanks. First, I'd like to extend my congratulations to Bruce in the Northeast, man. He runs that 2-minute drill like nobody else, man.
We need somebody of sour grapes. Come on, Drew. Say, are you kidding me? These voters, it was stolen. Too big to rig. Something.
Well, I feel like I'm on the Buffalo Bills. How's that for Hey, my song, you know what? I don't have a song. I have the name of an album, and it's Stranger in Town by Bob Seger, circa 1976, I believe. Thanks,
Seger goes back to 1976? Wow.
Yeah. Well, 78 for Stranger in Town, but close enough, yeah.
Well, it's 36. I thought it was a much more contemporary Bob Seger. I really like
that look. I would have thought he was 70s all the way.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right. So, Drew, we got you for that. And we end with Joe in Columbus, who I pegged as a dark horse here. Hey, Joe, what do you have?
Well, I want to comment Joe from Exton on his pace. That was beautiful. Dom, mine poses the problem and the statement everybody's been making. Ground Control to Major Tom, David Bowie, Space Oddity.
Yeah, Space Oddity encapsulates this pretty well. Henry, who did you like today?
Yeah, we had a bit of a murderer's row in the middle of the calls today. I liked the stretch of Robert and Ben Salem with 99 Red Balloons, Earl Taccone with Iron Sky, and Joe and Exton there with Fly Me to the Moon.
Okay. Which one is the potential?
The top one?
Yeah.
Man. I like the singing. I got to go with Joe.
Okay. Dan, how about you?
I feel like I don't know if I've ever heard Joe sing before, and this is a first for me, and we've heard a lot from Joe. I feel like I'm going with Joe, Dom.
All right, Joe of Exton, name goes into the hat. And the match that will be up at 3 o'clock, Dan Rousseau?
Yes, it's actually out there right now, Dom. You can go vote at Dom Show 1210. You have Bruce in the Northeast taking on Scott in Mount Laurel.
Any results at this point?
Yeah, 4 minutes left on the vote, but Robert Ben-Salem has a hefty lead over Gary in Newtown in the other second-round vote.
The chalk is coming home here. That's what it be. Gary may be on tomorrow. I don't think he's going to say, I just want to congratulate. He's going to give us his resume again. I like that a lot.
When they call those final 8, though, the elite, I think I kind of agree with that. These are some elite callers here we're talking down.
Exactly right. All right, thanks to Henry and Dan. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Richie always next for 4 big hours. Back tomorrow. Maybe Jeff Andrew again. Who knows? Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Forevermore. Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210.